Welcome back to Backyard Cars, and well, today we're getting all the safety stuff done on the Motley Carlo. We're going to start with the neutral safety switch and a battery kill switch and a horn and whatever else we can get to. 6-week prep, here we go. Alright, we're going to get started by our neutral safety switch, which is one of these two plugs, and I don't remember which one. I think it's this one. These two here are neutral safety. I think this is our reverse lights, but I'll have to double check them. Disconnect and unplug, and then we'll run the wires down behind here and over to our shifter, to the little switch that's on the shifter. And that's pretty simple and straightforward, I do believe. So let's just get to messing with it. Alright, well, normally this is hooked to your column, and as you do, you're shifting into gear. This little lever here moves around. It makes your contacts for park and all that good stuff. So we'll just throw it down into gear here. Well, let's leave it in park actually. And see, we got starter. So let's disconnect this one. Alright, that's our neutral. There's our neutral safety switch. Pretty simple and straightforward. So we'll cut this off, put some connectors on there, run our wires back here, and start taking apart the top of the shifter again so we can get to that switch in there. And everybody knows how to cut wires and crimp them together and all that good stuff, so I'm not gonna dig too deep into that. I'm just gonna go ahead and knock it out real quick, and I'll bring you back when we're hooking it up to the shifter. Alright, we got our wires ran up to here, and hopefully they'll reach back here. I think I gave myself enough room. Now, if you all remember when we put this in, but it was a pain. The little selector thing, the cord is too short. It was just a pain in the butt. And I probably should have hooked up some wires then, but I'm a slacker, so I didn't. I figured I could just do something else, and well, here we are, and taking it back apart so we can run wires to our neutral safety switch.
Dad, is it raining?
A little bit.
Oh, I'm seeing.
My daughter's out here playing in the rain. It's just drizzling on us here in Florida. It would be snow if we were north, but we're not. It's heat shrink tubing that I got here that I just to kind of keep the wires from being loose and dangling. So we got that one on there now. We'll put the end on this one, and we'll get it up on the top if we can. Yahtzee, bend it down just a hair so we can get the reverse lights on if needed, if we can figure that out. And now we should have reverse safety switch engaged. Neutral safety switch, whatever that is. Alright, so we're in gear, and if all is hooked up right, it will not key. No key. Alright. Let's get it into park. Alright. Neutral. Let's see. Reverse. Nothing. Neutral. We got nothing in neutral. Alright. Only park. It's the only time it'll crank is in park. So that's fixed, right? The only thing we got to do now is attempt to get the reverse lights on. I don't know if my bulbs are burned out in the reverse lights or what, but I think I jumpered this one time and got nothing to the rear. So it could be bad bulbs back there. It could be a lot. I don't know if I need reverse lights, you know, while we're at the track. I think it just says neutral safety switch. Alright, so we got the switch jumpered and the key on, and as you can tell, there are no reverse lights, and I'm just gonna hope they're burned out. But with my luck, they're probably trashed. And I don't know all the wiring, and I don't think I'm gonna spend a whole lot of time trying to figure it out. I can't get it to come loose. My fingers won't fit in there. Come on. Oh, there we go. That looks like a good bulb. I don't know. I guess I gotta get the test light and test the Rooney on this too, huh? No power. Alright, so after hooking this up and probing all the wires up here and tracking it back, we had the reverse lights were broke right there. So we wired that back up and then came back here and got my lights all good. So now we got reverse lights. So what I have to do now is wire those two wires in through like we did the reverse deal over here to the shifter, so that we get continuity on reverse, and we should be good. So I'm gonna get my wires all done up and ran over to here and plugged in and get that situated back. Just same thing we already done. So now we got reverse lights. One thing at a time. I burned my finger so bad on the reverse bulb. It was on for 2 seconds and I grabbed it and burned my finger bad. Alright, let me get in here and get this wiring all wired in, and yeah. Alright, so my battery is in the trunk, and you need an off switch, kill switch at the rear. So I just got, you know, cheap kill switch, and I took my Christmas tree bit and I, you know, drilled me a hole back here on the back side, so we could be regulated or whatever they want to call it. And just for weatherproofing, I took a piece of shrink wrap and just put it over that so we can pinch that back and kind of give a little bit of a weather seal, because my cheap dealio didn't do that. I don't know, it is what it is. So we got that in there, and just so everybody is on the same page, we know it's on and off, we're gonna put their little doohickey on there so we know on from off and off from on. I'm gonna get you up here and take a peek at it. So I can just disconnect it from here, bring it to the switch, and then I'll have to get a 2-3 footer to go back to the terminal. And not only does it have to kill the battery, but it has to kill power to the ignition. So when you kill this, it just kills the car. No power to the battery, no alternator power running the ignition. So I'm gonna tap in at the starter. I believe all the inside of the car power comes from the starter. So I think if I just snatch it off the starter and then run the wire all the way back here to this side of the switch, right? to this side of the switch, to the car power side of the switch. When we kill this, it'll kill ignition, isolated from the alternator and the battery. So let's finish getting this mounted, and then we'll address that starter wire and see. It's not a starter wire, it's the main feed to the fuse box is what we're going to run back here. Yeah, which is going to feed back to the starter. Does that sound right? Well, all right, it's a new day and mistakes were made. In the effort to try and, you know, save all the pennies I could, I bought a cheap switch, and well, the cheap switch will kill the battery, but it won't kill the car. Yeah, I thought I could work around that, but I was wrong. So I ordered up a new switch, and well, it won't be here till the 2nd of January. But that don't take but 10 minutes to swap that out. We're going to continue wiring, and I've already got some of it done. I had to get a 4-pole switch. One, like, two poles will kill the battery. The other 2 poles will kill my line into the car to kill the ignition and all the power in the car. And that essentially will shut down everything. Even with the car running, the alternator, nothing, no power will make it to the ignition. So that's where we're at, and well, I started wiring up the rest of it. So I got a bus bar, and well, I stuck the bus bar in the glove box because we don't use the glove box, and it'll be hid. Drilled a hole through the side. Got some 8-gauge pure copper that we're gonna run to the bus bar. And then we're going to take the wires that go from the starter up into the car, and we're going to bring them into the car and hook them to this. So essentially this is the power for the car, and the battery runs the starter, and that's also run over to my fans, and then this is going to run all the way back to the switch. So when we kill it, power to the entire inside of the car, and the ignition will die. And I got that mounted up, and this nifty little cover goes on here, even though we don't really need it because nothing will be in the glove box. We're going to stick it on there anyhow, so that, you know, we got all the pieces on there. And then my glove box door goes back on, and you'll never know it's in there. So now I'm running this wire, got it run down through and down through the center, and we're gonna go back here under the seat, and we'll self tap it, you know, to keep it from wiggling around. Self tap it in a couple spots with these doohickeys, and run it over here where our main battery feed is running up, and run it back to the back of the car. It seems pretty legit, and I think, well, I know I got it solved now. Now I'm, you know, 95.5% sure that when I hit that kill switch, which I gotta redo because I'm bright. When I hit that kill switch, it'll kill everything. And then I gotta kind of block this, and I'm not exactly sure how to block it off. They say it's gotta be sealed off. I don't know if my slow car needs this, but I was reading in the rules, and they're saying that if the battery's in the trunk, it's got to be sealed off from the cabin. So I think I'm just going to take a thin piece of aluminum and, you know, seal her off here, up there, call it a day. I got this nifty breaker. Instead of having a fuse, we're going to mount the breaker back here somewhere, you know, where it can be got to. And the breaker, it's only 60 amp, but I think I'm only going to pull 40 from this line anyhow, and I can always order another one. But so the breaker will just pop like that when we put too much draw on it, and it's waterproof, and then you just stick it back, and we're not dealing with fuses, you know. At least that's the idea. And I don't know, we'll mount it back here somewhere where it's handy to get to and all that good stuff, and we can run our wires. I think it has to go this way. And we come from the battery to it, then from here to the switch, and then from the switch to this line here. Alright, well, we got a horn wired up and power running up into the cab, and got my horn button right there. Safety's first, right? Beep beep. There's no power running to anything just yet. We got the bus bar in over here and got some things hooked to it. Of course, we ain't got power hooked to this yet. I still got to go down and get the wires off the starter and bring them into this. And I say the wires off the starter, we're leaving the, you know, the trigger on there to kick the starter over, and the main feed is still staying, but there's two wires that feed the inside of the vehicle. Those two we're going to pull off, bring up back through the firewall and stick on this bus bar, which gets its main power, you know, from this wire, which comes from the switch in the back. So all that's done up. And then, you know, for the accessorize, we got us two USBs and the cigarette lighter in here, and I found that this actually has power. The cigarette lighter plug itself is no good, but maybe we got an extra accessory there if needed. But those are hooked up and in the hideaway. And then I ripped out the bezel that was in here for a radio. We don't have radios. I'm just going to make a little panel to screw over that and kind of cover it for now so it don't look so horrible. These gauges don't work, just my gauges down here. And I should probably get my lights all working on that, so if we're running in the dark at all, I can at least see that we're charging and all that stuff down here. Oil pressures, and well, the temp light's up and the tack light's up, but those two do not. Oil pressure and voltage. But I'm working at it slowly. I got my wire tied in here, up, over, and then into the trunk, and it runs around and over to here, and then this will go to our what you call it here, yeah, I forget the name of it now, but it pops when we draw too many currents. And that's going to go from here up to our 4-pole when we get the 4-pole in. And the battery terminal is going to come over here. All this will be done here when we get the, let's see, what do we need to do this? I need to get this jumper, an extra 0-aught is what I need to in the switch to get that finished up. But we've accomplished a bunch so far. And yes, it took several hours to run all them power wires and whatnot. And I think I'm pretty much done with wiring. I don't think I really have much else. Hook up that power wire, and that's gonna oh yeah, the starter wires. I think that's about it. And I'm kind of running out of daylight today, and I got some football games I want to sit down and watch. So anyhow, I made a hell of a mess up here, so I had to vacuum out all that junk. But I think we're getting there. I mean, safeties is almost there. All right, let me get to getting everything cleaned up, and we'll get back to this, you know, in just a minute. So you want to win some muscle cars? Well, check this out. Here are the muscle cars we're giving away. Matchbox muscle cars in our subscriber follower basket. It's just a giveaway if you're a subscriber or you follow us on Facebook or Instagram or here on the tubes. If you follow us on all three, you'll have 3 chances to win it. But it's just a thank you. A popcorn basket, so when you're watching the show, you're good. Trophy, because you're number 1. And muscle cars. Different kinds. And we're going to add some things, I'm sure, as we keep going. But just little trinkets and just a way to say thank you. Really cool shirt. But this is for you guys, for hanging in there and watching and enjoying what we do. My way of saying thank you. And, you know, some of you guys might smash the Fords or smash the Chevys. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to do. Take them out, play with them. Give them to your kids. whatever you want to do. Alright. Well, now we got that over. All you gotta do is subscribe. There's no purchase necessary. Just subscribe here. Facebook, YouTube, 3 chances. Instagram, I think. Yeah, those 3. Alright, let's get back to working. Free things are cool. Link and all the information's in the description, guys. You know, it's easy. Just subscribe everywhere. Well, there's the wiring. Voila, magic of film. Got our power to the car ran through the circuit breaker. Got our 4-pole switch hooked up. Everything's tight. It was 2-aught cable that runs, you know, over here back to the battery. So the battery comes up through the switch, loops over to here, gives 2 feeds, one to the starter, one to the main part of the car. So that's all done. Here's our switch on the outside. Voila, the same switch really, 2 poles, or the other one was 2 poles, this one's 4 poles, and the switch is powder coated, the cover thing, indicator. Anyhow, and we got our floor pan, you know, professionally installed. It used to just ride back here, but now she's rust reformed underneath and, you know, self-tappered down, because that works, you know, for now. But it's secure, and that gives some stability to the back of the car too, maybe. I don't know. And we blocked the panel back there. We got a lot of things done, you know. Switch came in and we just knocked out some things. And we boxed that in so you can't get through there, and we got a nice panel we made for the top of that. And yes, allegedly they were made out of refrigerator doors, you know. So this is the package tray that I cut out of a refrigerator door, and it fits perfectly. And the back piece, the backing side of that was the side of the refrigerator. I mean, it's good metal, you know. It was tough to cut with 10 shears, so it's good enough for the goose, good enough for the gander. Let me show you one more time. See? I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, the seat's going in front of it, so okay. But it did what it needed to do. Boxed us off, so we can't, I guess, I don't know, boxed us off. Yeah. So, the only thing I have not done, got the battery, all that's done. The only thing I haven't done is I haven't swapped it off the starter yet. And that's what I am on to next. We got some wires over here, and I think 2 of these feed the car, and I got to pop them off and back in and run them to my bus bar. The other one is just a return back to the solenoid so it engages the starter, which feeds off the main feed line, you know, where all the amps are being drawn. So imagine this harness here is going to thin down to 1 wire, maybe 2. I think it's 1. And those will be, we'll probably shrink that up a good bit actually, and maybe even get it through the holder. Maybe. Let's not go crazy. But then the starter will be in the kill switch deal, so when the power's off back there, it'll have no ignition. And I got to get this wiper motor assembly out of here too, because it's no good, or I got no control power going to it or something. I got to do some testing because it don't work, is what I'm saying. And I need windshield wipers, I guess. That's what they're telling me. Alright, so I lied. I painted the refrigerator door package tray deal, and I'm gonna set it up in here and see what we're looking like. Sometimes you gotta shift your program, you know? Not great. need to get it up higher in some areas here. Yep. Couldn't just be easy. And boom, it's in. Yeah. I self-tapered it. Right in there. It was simple. It only took an hour. Allegedly. But it's in. And now I'm going to vacuum out down here and put the seat back in. And then you'll never know that I totally beat that into place. Nope. We're just sniffing the seat back in now. We're hoping that none of the wiring gets in the way of any of that. There's not much left of the seat, to be honest with you. It's in pretty rough shape. And that's half the battle. If I can get it to hang this time. This is going to be much trickier. First shot. What do you think? What do you think about that? I'm getting too old to be climbing in and out and in and out. I'll tell you that much. I don't know what to do with all that. All right, there you go. One freshly beat up. Not exactly how I pictured it. Package tray, but it's secured. You know, we cut down on things. I don't know if we cut down on anything, to be honest with you, but I feel better about it, and hopefully they'll feel better about it. I really got frustrated and just beat on it, allegedly. Well, I think we're going to end it here. I still got a lot to do and I'm still waiting on some things. But we got a lot accomplished, right? We got the package tray in, we got all the wiring done. Still got to get on the starter. And then I got some steering wheel stuff still I got to do. But, you know, this is what we're looking at so far. Got the horn in there. I think we got everything wired up. We got wipers. That's good, right? Got the headlight switch secured so you can turn the headlights on and off. Got a horn button. We still got to deal with the steering column, and the back's done. I mean, that's secured. We got the majority of the wiring done. I mean, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's some wire in here that, I mean, we got it. It's there. Secured. We even got the trunk secured in. So we accomplished a lot. So I'm gonna end it here. And you'll have to come back next week and when all our parts come in. We got tires. We gotta move the starter wire. We got wheels. We gotta put the tires on. What else? We gotta take it for, we gotta test everything. I think we're almost there. I think next time we're going to get to go drive on it and make sure it shuts down and everything's going to work correctly. Because I worked on it, so it's probably going to need a little bit more work. Yep, probably so. Alright, appreciate you watching. Go down to the thing there and hit the thumb thing and do the like and subscribe. Because we're going on a sick week with this girl. Yes, we are.